morning and welcome back to the Circle of Wellness, where we share our ideas and thoughts about living well. Really glad you're here. Make sure you always share this group and invite your friends so we can grow our Circle of Wellness. Again, my name's Dr. Jennifer Sue, and we're here together because success is always sweeter when shared. Today we're going to be talking about the anti-inflammatory diet. What we have to do is we have to figure out why this is so important, first of all. So we'll just start with what is inflammation. What is inflammation? If you take a cell and there is something that hurts it, so we'll put what are those people called on those crime shows like Law and Order? Villain. A villain comes in. It tries to start disease. Tries to hurt the cell. Immediately what happens is the cell sends out cytokines and interleukin 1, interleukin 6, also known as IL-1, IL-6. So these are protectors. So we'll call these protectors. So they're protectors. So they immediately go out and they try to go up and they try to attack the villain and they protect the cell. So protection of the cell from damage equals healing. And that's a good thing. Okay, so there's a villain, whatever it is, toxins, injury, injury. Toxins or injuries, the villain goes to the cell, it wants to create damage. Interleukins and cytokines go, and they go out. They try to protect the cell from damage, which leads to healing. So anytime you have an injury, what happens to our bodies? Like this scrape right there, it looks kind of red and inflamed. Inflammation means it's puffy, but this has been a week and is starting to form new skin and to heal. So that's what inflammation does for us. It helps our body to heal. But what we want to do is we want to make these interleukins and these cytokines work for us. So whenever there's too much villain, these get overly excited and now they start attacking our body. So inflammation, good equals good amounts equals healing. Too much, just like too much of a good thing, equals damage. And we talked about during our hormone talk, we talked about this before. All right. Hope you all are off to a good Sunday. The weather is absolutely amazing, isn't it? So, the anti-inflammatory diet, we'll just call that AI. Anti-inflammatory diet stands for anti-inflammatory. The anti-inflammatory diet it's really designed for you to be healthy. So this is all scientifically based. So these are scientific studies, have shown that an anti-inflammatory diet decreases cardiovascular disease, decreases diabetes, decreases arthritis, decreases neurodegenerative conditions, decreases cognitive decline. This does not mean after drinking you got cognitive decline. It means things like Alzheimer's or dementia. Dementia. Okay? So all these things don't even start when we're an adult. This is for adults. And look at this. Prenatal care. If you institute the anti-inflammatory diet, prenatal care causes children to have less anxiety, less obesity. Isn't this incredible? So if you can get your friends to subscribe to this and to learn, a lot of them are having children, so start them on the anti-inflammatory diet while they're pregnant, so their children have less incidence of anxiety and obesity. For you, after age 65, the United States has a really high incidence of cardiovascular disease, diabetes, arthritis, neurodegenerative conditions such as Alzheimer's disease and dementia. So let's talk about the anti-inflammatory diet. It's really actually quite easy to do. Okay. I'm going to make a food pyramid here. A food pyramid tells you what to eat every day, and we'll talk about what your plate should look like. So, anti-inflammatory food pyramid. So pyramid is always a triangular shape. The most we should eat should be on the bottom and on and on and on and on and on to the very top, which you should eat the least every day. All right, so let's start here. So right here, we should have more veggies. More veggies. Actually, I should do that. So more servings of veggies and less servings of fruits. So we always talk about like, eat more fruits and vegetables. Actually, we should be saying, eat more veggies and fruit. Does that make sense? So this is more veggies. Okay, veggies and fruits. Right here, make sure I do this right. I just pulled up on my other thing. Okay, right here. Right here is the next level, whole and cracked grains, pasta, al dente, beans, and legumes. Interesting, isn't it? So this is the anti-inflammatory diet pyramid. This is, you should be eating the most of these base every day. Next up, fish and shellfish fall in this category. Up here, whole soy foods. The reason that we're saying whole is we don't want any kind of processed soy. So whenever a long time ago I wanted to be vegan or vegetarian, I really wanted a hot dog. I really wanted a hamburger, so I'd eat a soy hamburger or a soy hot dog. Eating those soy are processed, right? They're processed to look like the original food. So you want whole soy. So whole soy is the actual soybean. So this would be tofu, tempeh, soy bean. Right? All right. We only got 6 more left. Right here would be cooked Asian mushrooms. So things like shiitake are really good. Lion's mane. So we don't want button. So not button mushrooms. So not button mushrooms. Button mushrooms would be white portobello. Okay, so we don't want those white button ones. All right. Moving on. If you have questions, please leave them in the comments below because that really helps me to know what you all are interested in. Other sources of protein. So this is where we talk about lean meat, cheese, yogurt, eggs. Interesting, isn't it? We only got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 left to go. Make sure I can fit all this in here. Healthy herbs and spices. So this would be turmeric, ginger, cinnamon. I'm looking back here so I don't forget anything. Tea. So here's where you want to get green tea, white tea, or oolong tea. Those have a lot of health benefits for being anti-inflammatory. Supplements, daily. Everybody needs zinc, selenium, see that? Zinc, selenium, chromium, and manganese. So if you go to your multivitamin, surely they have these supplements, but these are trace minerals that everybody should get every day. So make sure your supplement has these in them. We're almost done. So we're down to the last two, which you will enjoy, but it's at the very top of our pyramid: wine and dark chocolate. So with wine, it's no more than 1 to 2 glasses a day. No more than 1 to 2 glasses a day. So we are talking less than 4 ounces glass. So we're not talking about the big glasses we get served at the restaurant, are we? And then of course this wine is always optional. So you aren't forced to drink wine every day. This is optional. So the last is dark chocolate. Hi, Jackie. Dark chocolate needs to be at least 70% cacao. So cocoa is not equal to cacao. Let's write it over here. And I put it at the very bottom here. Oh, we'll put it up here so it doesn't get confusing. Let me get another sheet. Cacao is not equal to cocoa. They kind of look alike. I almost wrote it wrong. So the A and O is inverted. Cacao is the actual antioxidant in the cocoa bean. Cocoa is cacao plus sugar plus milk. Isn't that interesting? So we want at least 70% cacao in chocolate. And that would equal very beneficial dark chocolate. So start to read your labels. We want more of this, but we don't want to be eating a whole lot of it. It's at the very top of our food pyramid. So how our plate should look, and this is what's hard in America, is we get a dinner plate. We want this much of our plate to be the main dish, whether it's fish, meat, and we want all of this to be veggies. But in most of our restaurants, we have most of this be meat or our main dish, and then we have this little tiny area, maybe even, which are veggies. I hope this makes a lot of sense. So I'll let you take a look at that food pyramid. So remember, we want more veggies and fruits at the very bottom. So eat more veggies and fruit. Then the next layer is going to be whole grain and cracked grains, pasta al dente, beans and legumes. Then up there's fish and seafood, fish and shellfish. Then you get to whole soy foods. We're mixing in some Asian foods in there because of the great data they have on longevity and decrease of cognitive decline and cardiovascular disease. So tofu, tempeh, soybean. There's another, soy milk. Just be careful of soy milk, no fillers. So just make sure you're not getting any fillers that we talked about last time. No fillers. Okay, then we're moving on to cooked Asian mushrooms like shiitake, lion's mane. We want to avoid the button white mushrooms, portobello mushrooms. They tend to have a lot of pesticides and no health benefits. Other sources of protein go up here, so lean meat, cheese, yogurt, eggs. Then you're moving into healthy herbs and spices, turmeric, ginger, cinnamon. Just add that into your little, you can add cinnamon right to your coffee. You can add turmeric right into your coffee. Sprinkle it onto your food. Tea, green, white, oolong. Daily supplements are very important. Always make sure you trace minerals, zinc, manganese, selenium, chromium. Wine, optional. You don't have to drink wine to have an anti-inflammatory diet. This is no more than 1 to 2 glasses a day. We're talking less than 4 ounces in a glass. And lastly, we talk about dark chocolate, making it at least 70% cacao. So a lot of people will be like, great, fun in life is over. No, it's not actually, because your fun in life just started, because you're going to have less joint pain, less brain inflammation, decrease of anxiety and OCD type symptoms. You'll age well. You'll get off of your antihypertensives, diabetic medications. So I would like you to ask me any questions in the comments. Like, we are here for you as a group. So if you have questions, it's a safe group. Again, every diet has its reasons. So like, somebody that wants to eat a lot of red meat has to realize, okay, red meat is inflammatory, but what are they doing it for? You know, they have to understand the risks that they're taking. So if you're trying to decrease inflammation to even out your teeter-totter with hormones, then you do want to do an anti-inflammatory diet, because that's your purpose. So you have to know what your purpose is. Okay, so this anti-inflammatory diet food pyramid I will put on our Facebook page, our exclusive page, and it'll be the nice version. It won't be this written out version. Well, I might post both because I got it straight from there. So if you're wondering how many servings a day of fruits or vegetables and fruits, this is 4 to 5 servings at least. So greater than or equal to 4 to 5 servings a day, minimum. And this is 3 to 4. Oops, you can't even see that. There. So veggies is at least 4 to 5 minimum servings a day, at least. And then fruits is 3 to 4 servings a day. All right. So plate should look like this. The main dish is very small. The veggies consume the most. We gotta do our laughter therapy. Okay, did you laugh? So we want to do laughter at least 11 times a day. If you missed it, let's do it again. Okay, good. So we did 2 laughters. You don't even have to be happy or find something funny. This is just laughing. So it helps with health benefits. Did we cover enough of the anti-inflammatory diet food pyramid? There is plenty of scientific evidence. This is based on the Mediterranean diet. So if you look up, it's a combo of the Mediterranean diet with Asian influence. So that is what it is. So Asian influenced the Mediterranean diet, added a little bit more of the Asian mushrooms and the soy. So hope we covered enough with the anti-inflammatory diet so that you can really avoid processed food. So what would be the enemy of the anti-inflammatory diet? It would be the standard American diet. So the standard American diet is sad because the standard American diet is highly refined, highly processed. It's high energy, low nutrition. This is high nutrition. This is high nutrition, low energy because it takes a while for your body to consume, but it's a lot better for you because you'll have a decreased risk of cardiovascular disease, diabetes, arthritis, neurodegenerative conditions, as well as a decrease of cognitive decline, Alzheimer's disease, and dementia. And if you can get your pregnant friends and family to eat the anti-inflammatory diet during pregnancy, you have helped your future generations with decrease of anxiety and decrease of obesity. Pretty cool. Let's end in our quote of the month. And thank you again for resubscribing this month. We really appreciate it. Please invite your friends to subscribe. The circle can always be enlarged. We want to share because success is always sweeter when shared. So the quote of this month is really nice. I find all of these on Facebook. I think they know that I like these kind of quotes. Okay, so this quote says, I really think the secret to being loved is to love. And the secret to being interesting is to be interested. And the secret to have others find beauty in you is to find beauty in others. And the secret to having a friend is being a friend. So I'll read that again. I really think the secret to being loved is to love. And the secret to being interesting is to be interested. And the secret to have others find beauty in you is to find beauty in others. And the secret to having a friend is being a friend. So this was from, what is this from? Mindful Christianity. All right. Be well. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below. And I look forward to seeing you again next Sunday for our Circle of Wellness. Be well.
I don't know what it is you